Functions. Kenny got tired of the classroom and wanted to see more of the outdoors, so he took a job as a farmhand. Kenny being a capable young man, he's quickly moved up the ranks of the farm hierarchy and was tasked with managing a team of new farmhands to harvest the strawberry fields. How do I impart the knowledge of harvesting strawberries to these apprentice pickers? Thinks Kenny to himself. Well, whenever Kenny has a task that needs to be done many times over, like harvesting a strawberry, he thinks back to his computer science days and realises he needs to write a function. A function is a specific set of repeatable instructions, takes an input like a strawberry plant and produces an output like freshly picked strawberries. If this sounds like the definition of an algorithm, you're right. An algorithm is conceptual, and a function can put an algorithm into practice. Kenny finds it helpful to consider functions as he writes instructions on how to harvest strawberries for all the new pickers. I need to have explicit step-by-step instructions or my pickers won't consistently produce the correct output, thinks Kenny. By thinking of these instructions as an input, a function he's given the harvester, Kenny ensures that the harvesting strawberries is a repeatable, dependable task. Check out Kenny's instructions for picking strawberries. By providing these instructions to each farmhand, he is able to make sure the process is repeated at the same each time without having to manually pick the strawberries himself. So strawberry picking empty container. While the container is not full, check strawberry. If the strawberry is red, pick a strawberry. If 3B, place in the container. Else, if the strawberry is green, leave it on the plant. Once the container is filled, return to the container. Control flow and logic. Although it was interesting and fun, Kenny didn't feel that the farm was quite right for him. His time in the farm made him interested in food and food safety. So Kenny became a health inspector. In his job as a health inspector, he had to give the restaurant he inspected a grade. In order to grade them fairly, Kenny knew he had to develop a system to decide their score based on the set of conditions of the restaurant. Kenny would check each area in the restaurant in sequence. First the dining room, then the bar, then the service station, and finally the kitchen. If he found any pest or some insanity at any of the locations, he would subtract a letter from the overall grade of the restaurant. The restaurants always started with an A, but by the end of the inspection, sometimes they ended up with an F, and no one wants to eat out at a restaurant with an F health grade. Kenny knew what he had developed was a contraflow. He had a set of sequence he followed, and throughout the sequence, based on some conditioners, he would lower the health grade of the establishment. This is a way of thinking that he learned when developing software. Kenny had turned his job as a health inspector into a sequence of if-then statements within a control flow. This allowed him to grade each restaurant fairly and consistently. In the code editor, you will find short text-based adventure game where you can play as Health Inspector Kenny and give your daily quota of the restaurants. Their health grades. Click the run, then copy and paste Python Kenny Health Inspector.py into the terminal on the far right, title bash, and hit return or enter on your keyboard. Games like this and in fact most functional programs rely heavily on control flow to guide the user through the application. Take a look at the code for the game itself and see if you can see examples of contraflow logic. Anywhere you see if statements or comparative operators like equals are compared to or greater than or equal to or less than equal to greater than equal less than, there's a logic at work. So import text wrap, import random. This function makes up the main body of the game and controls a player's general flow through each of the options. So define Health Inspector Kenny visited. If visited is equal to 0, print text wrap dot fill pounds plus welcome Health Inspector dot Kenny. Today have inspected 3 restaurants and give them ratings. Width equals 60. Where would you like to go first? Choice equals location selected locations. If the license choice equals Billy's Burgers, location dot remove Billy's Burgers. Visit plus are equal to 1. Billy's grade equals Billy's Burgers. Print text wrap dot fill. You've finished inspecting Billy's Burgers and have given a grade 0. Dot format grades. Billy's grades with 60. Health inspector. Else if location choice equals Lucy's lemonade and licorice. Location dot remove Lucy's lemonade and licorice. Visit plus equals 1. Lucy's grade, Lucy's lemonade. Print text wrap dot fill. You've finished inspecting Lucy's lemonade and licorice and have given a grade of 0. Dot format. So we run that. Click run.